All right, now we're completing a tax return. What is a tax return? A tax return is the document used to inform the ATO how much income you earned and any tax deductions or tax offsets you're claiming for the financial year. In Australia, the financial year starts on the 1st of July and it runs until the 30th of June the following year. Generally, an Australian resident will have to lodge a tax return if they've earned more than $18,200 throughout the financial year. However, individuals who've had tax deducted from their earnings need to lodge a tax return to obtain a tax refund even when they earned less than $18,200. So if within that year you did at points have some tax taken off, then you have to fill out one. Lodge your tax return in a few different ways. You can do it online, you can do it in paper, and you can go to a tax agent and they'll do it on your behalf. The information needed to complete a tax return. Number one, information about assessable income. You are responsible for working out your assessable income. If you use a tax agent or you get help from a tax help volunteer, you still need all your records for them to work from. You'll need statements relating to income, such as a payment summary from each employer, statements of interest received from your banks or other financial institutions, dividend statements from companies, and statements of the shares sold. You need information about allowable deductions. You're allowed to reduce your assessable income by claiming allowable deductions. Work-related expenses are expenses you may incur in the course of earning the income. To be an allowable deduction, there must be a legitimate link between earning the income and incurring the expense. So work-related expenses could include the cost of tools and equipment used at work. So for instance, with me, if I buy stationery, if I buy a laptop, I can use that and get my tax back for it. Union fees and some work-related travel costs. So not going to and from work, but if I had to go to Bundaberg to do a PD, which is a course on something, I could claim for that. There are a number of other allowable deductions, such as gifts or donations over $2 to an approved charity, and then the cost of actually preparing that tax return. You can get your tax back on that. Private or domestic expenses are not allowable deductions. For example, the cost of traveling to and from work and buying lunch. Can't claim for that. You should keep written evidence of allowable deductions. This is called substantiation. The written evidence can be invoices or receipts or logbooks for the travel claims. I've actually got a little app on my phone and I take photos of my receipts and then I write there what it was for. A deduction for the expense can be denied unless substantiation requirements are met. So you've got to have proof. The proof must include the name of the supplier, the amount of the expense, the date on which it occurred, the nature of the expense, so why did you use it, and then of course the date of the document. Electronic funds transfer, you need to provide bank details to receive a refund, so they would do it straight into your bank account. You need your tax file number to lodge a tax return. If you don't have one, you have to get one. And filling in your tax return and using the pre-filling service. When filling in your tax return, take care to enter each amount at the right place because there may be significant differences in the way different items are taxed. So, a bit difficult to do. No, not difficult. You've just got to be careful when you do it. All right, guys, I want you to try and see if you can do one yourself.